Every single year, public health directors make a critical, multi-million-dollar mistake when funding chronic disease clinics. They look at a massive, crowded waiting room and pour all their money into treating the existing numbers, completely missing where the fire started. Why does this happen? Because regular healthcare planning confuses how fast a disease is arriving with how much of it is already here. But here on STEMTalk, we bridge data with simple, everyday reality so you can lock this framework into your mind forever. To understand how diseases pile up in a society, let us unlock two fundamental concepts: incidence and prevalence. To visualize this mathematical balance perfectly, let us look inside the home of our close family on a busy evening. Eleanor is getting the bathroom ready for evening chores, letting the faucet run at a continuous, measurable speed.
Hey, Mom, look! Every second the faucet is turned on, more and more water drops are jumping into the tub.
That is right, sweetie. But notice how high the water level is getting. If we do not open the drain soon, it is going to overflow onto the floor.
I am tracking our home water system on my app. The faucet is pouring in new water, but the total volume in the tub is what matters right now.
Exactly. If we want to keep the bathroom dry, we need to know how fast it is filling up versus the absolute total inside. Look closely at this suspended water loop. This running bathtub is the most powerful analogy in the history of public health tracking. The water pouring down from the faucet represents incidence. This is the number of completely new cases entering a population over time. The total volume of water already sitting inside the tub represents prevalence. This is the absolute burden of disease at this exact second. If you have a fast faucet, high incidence, the tub fills up rapidly. If you have a disease with no cure, the water stays inside, and prevalence explodes. To manage the pool, you cannot just look at the water level. You have to understand the math of the inflow. This is where STEMTalk bridges mathematics and physics with medicine, so you can retain these metrics forever. We don't look at clinical statistics in isolation. We look at the flow dynamics. Watch what happens to the drain at the bottom. Water leaves the prevalence pool in only two ways. Either people recover completely through a cure, or they die. Take a real-world case study like insulin. When modern medicine invented insulin, it didn't cure diabetes. It kept patients alive longer. Because patients lived longer, the bottom drain slowed down. The incidence stayed the same, but the total prevalence exploded globally. STEMTalk systematically removes the confusion. Sickness data is a dynamic flow. If you only fund clinics for existing cases, you ignore the faucet. Whether you are calculating local respiratory numbers from a school classroom or designing long-term funding for chronic conditions, the operational metrics of public health tracking never bend. You must measure the incidence rate, calculate the total burden, and map the flow. If you are ready to stop relying on surface-level guesswork and master the actual data systems that protect human life, our next system link is required. Go straight to our global science terminal at www.stemconnectonline.com right now to evaluate your sector's data alignment. Subscribe to STEMTalk. Stay locked in the story loop. Never lose your grip on the metrics.